Good evening. In a bold display of American military might, a guided missile destroyer from the world's most powerful navy has docked in the Caribbean, specifically in Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago, just 450 miles from Venezuela's coast. The message to Caracas is unmistakable. The United States under President Donald Trump is turning up the pressure on Nicolas Maduro's regime. Trump has long accused Maduro of leading a drug trafficking organization, a charge the Venezuelan president vehemently denies. Maduro's government fires back, claiming Washington is fabricating a pretext for regime change, stoking fears of a new, eternal war. As Maduro put it recently, the people of the United States know it. They're making up a new war that we will avoid. How? With the mobilization of the peoples of South America. He dismissed the U.S. narrative as vulgar, extravagant, lying, false, and a denial of reality. This isn't just rhetoric. Last month, Trump took to social media with a dramatic video purporting to show U.S. forces sinking a vessel tied to drug cartels. "If you're transporting drugs that can kill Americans," he declared, "we are hunting you." The U.S. reports more than 40 deaths from such strikes off South America's coast so far, framing them as vital to national security, foreign policy, and American lives. At the heart of this push is Secretary of State Marco Rubio, whose personal stake runs deep. The son of Cuban immigrants, Rubio sees Venezuela's fall as a domino that could topple Havana's regime, two nations he views as inextricably linked. He knows the key to Trump's ear isn't human rights or democracy alone, but drugs. Yet, while cocaine does flow through Venezuelan waters, concrete evidence of high-level government involvement remains elusive. Critics question if this, America First, administration is veering into overreach. Venezuela's woes are no secret: years of economic collapse, widespread unrest, rampant criminal violence, and last year's elections, widely decried as neither free nor fair, have kept Maduro clinging to power amid chaos. On Air Force One en route to Malaysia, Trump even flagged the issue with Brazil's president, emphasizing its potential to destabilize the entire region. As he told his counterpart, Brazil's experience as South America's economic powerhouse makes it crucial in addressing the crisis. The U.S. Embassy in Trinidad insists the destroyer's stay, through week's end, is routine cooperation with a key ally. But it's joining a growing flotilla of American naval assets patrolling these waters. Not everyone welcomes the show of force. Protests echo across the Caribbean. Caribbean sovereignty is not for sale. Caribbean lives are not collateral damage. And peace must never be bartered for power. Just last week, Washington released footage of massive U.S. troop deployments and training exercises in the region, fueling the unease. So, is this truly about drugs, or a veiled bid for regime change? Some say Trump has the wrong end of the stick on narcotics. Others argue he knows precisely what he's doing. To unpack this, I spoke earlier with Professor Annette Idler, a global security expert at Oxford University. What message is Trump sending Maduro with these ships so close to Venezuela's shores? Professor Idler called it a clear show of power, signaling Washington's readiness to escalate beyond sanctions and words. It's strategic coercion, she explained, aimed as much at voters at home as at Maduro himself. But she warned of the dangers. This militarized signaling raises the risk of escalation, exactly the dynamic we study in our global security research. What we need is a shift from coercion to cooperation, or we'll spiral into irreversible violence. On the drug threat itself, Venezuela is indeed a major transit route for cocaine from Colombia, heading to the US, Europe, and beyond. But it's a transit route, not the root cause, Idler stressed. Production remains centered in Colombia, and while links exist between Venezuelan officials and illicit trade, it's part of a larger web of organized crime. Unless we address the bigger picture, she said, the U.S. won't achieve anything meaningful. Many fingers point to Rubio as the architect, pushing the narco-state, labeled to keep Venezuela atop Trump's agenda, tying it neatly to border security and foreign foes. And the timing? Trump's first term shied from military entanglement here. Now, in this second act, escalation feels markedly different. We've made the mistake of assuming Trump 1 equals Trump 2, Idler noted. Methods matter, and the threats are sharper now. Finally, could Venezuela's instability ripple outward, drawing in neighbors or even sparking broader conflict? Absolutely, says the professor, and it's already happening. Over 7 million Venezuelans have fled amid economic and political meltdown, fueling migration, illicit trade, and insecurity across borders. So much for America first, she quipped. Trump frames it as a narco threat to burnish his tough guy image at home, but history shows militarizing drug wars abroad rarely makes America safer. It might even backfire. Professor Annette Idler, thank you for that insight. As tensions simmer in the Caribbean, one thing's clear: the U.S. is doubling down, but at what cost? We'll keep watching this story closely. For now, that's the latest on the Venezuela Flashpoint. I'm your name, and this has been your evening update. Good night.